I'm John McQuay with 8541 Tactical, and this is our first installment in our Ruger 1022 Tactical Trainer build. Now, the rifle in front of me is very close to the way it actually came out of the box and the way it was when I introduced it to you guys in our intro video. Now, in the intro video, I asked you guys what you wanted to see as far as our build up here, because we've got some things that we need to do to the rifle to make it more suitable to be used as a tactical trainer, meaning a rimfire trainer to help you build skills that you can use on a larger centerfire rifle. Well, obviously in the condition it came out of the box in, with a wooden stock and open sights, it's not really a good option to use as a trainer for a scoped centerfire rifle. So I asked you guys if you wanted us to do more of a budget-oriented build, or if you wanted us to really go over the top and do an unlimited build. Well, we got a pretty equal split on responses on it. So I think what we're going to do going forward on this is we're going to show you guys some budget ways to improve this rifle, and then I think we're going to go a little bit step beyond and show you some really more extravagant ways to set this rifle up to more closely duplicate what you would find in a tactical rifle. Now, I don't know what you have on your rifle, so we're going to show a couple of different options along the way. That way it gives you ideas on things that you can do. At least that is the current plan. That's the current idea on how we're going to do this. We have some things that have been promised to us, some companies that have said that they're interested in getting on board, but some of those products haven't materialized yet, so that may kind of decide on how we follow this path. A lot of the stuff though is out of pocket as well, so we're not just relying on companies to get this project going forward. Now, the rifle as it sits in front of me is the condition it was in when we took it to our first range trip. Now, I figured if we're going to do a build up, the most important thing to do right off the bat is get a baseline on it. We need to see what kind of accuracy this rifle is capable of right out of the box. I've got some bolt action 22s. I've got varying different levels of them, from bench rest accuracy level rifles like the Remington 40XB down to some just really low budget trainer rifles like a Savage Cub. And I will tell you that this rifle really surprised me with the accuracy that it's capable of with this sporter weight barrel and with this barrel band on here and with a non-free floating stock. Now, a word about the peculiarity of rimfire rifles to start out with. Those of you guys that are used to accurizing centerfire rifles are used to free-floating barrels. Well, on a lot of rimfire rifles, they like to have some pressure at the tip of the stock to help stabilize that barrel. I can't tell you exactly what it does. It has to do with the harmonics of it, and on the Rugers it has to do with the way the barrel is clamped into the receiver, and the support up here helps keep the barrel from drooping, and it helps even out the harmonics a little bit in the barrel. So on rimfires, it seems like they can actually benefit from a pressure pad up here at the muzzle. So I knew that going into it, that it may not be a wise idea just to go in here and grind stuff out, so we wanted to get a initial baseline on the accuracy of the rifle. We were shooting a Wolf match target ammunition. Ideally, when we check the accuracy of a rimfire rifle, what we like to do is go out and gather 50 round box of varying different types of match ammunition. Ideally, you want about 250 round boxes, and you want to run about 100 rounds of each different type of ammunition through to get a really good idea. And there are a couple of reasons for this. First of all, rimfire rifles can be very particular about ammo. You can get two of the exact same rifles that came off of the assembly line on the same week. One will like one type of ammunition better, and the other will like a different type of ammunition better. It's just something strange about the way rimfires work. Maybe it's the velocity, maybe it's the lead. I don't know. I can't articulate exactly what that is, but I can tell you there is a difference in there. So really, ideally, we'd like to take a whole bunch of different ammunition and test it in the rifle, and we would like to have a decent quantity of each ammunition, because you need to fire enough through it that you season the barrel with the ammunition that you are testing it with, instead of just trying to test a new type of ammunition over the old lube and the old fouling from the previous lot. So if you're going through and you're testing ammunition like that, that's the way to do it. Unfortunately, we are really just scraping to get any match 22 ammunition. It's not available at any local stores here. I can't find match 22 at any of our local stores. We do have Wolf Match Target on hand, because that's what my 22XB, my 40XB likes. That's what our Savage 22 rifles like. So that's the ammunition I keep around, and I've been able to get some more Wolf Match Target. It's actually Wolf Match Extra, which is they're hand-picked lots from the Wolf Match Target ammo. Now, those of you that are thinking Wolf, it's not the steel-cased Wolf. This is actually made in Germany. It is a very, very high-quality ammo. It is brass-cased 22. It's lead bullets. It is standard velocity, which actually means it's subsonic in most rifles. And it has a wax coating over a regular lead bullet. Very, very high-quality ammunition. So it's bench rest quality ammunition. Guys actually use it for bench rest competition. Of course, they have extra little things they do with it when they use it in bench rest, but I have absolutely no doubts that the ammunition is capable of an extremely high level of accuracy. It is an extremely consistent ammunition. So we took that ammunition out to the range and we shot it through our rifle, and we did our baseline testing at 50 yards. The reason you want to do baseline testing at 50 yards with a 22 is that you're really going to have a minimum of wind effect on that ammunition. When you start to stretch out to 100 yards, that's kind of like going to 200 yards with a centerfire rifle. You're going to start to have a little bit of wind effect in there, and that can skew your testing. So we shot at 50 yards. We are using a 3 to 9 power scope that I'll talk about here in a minute. And we got right around 2 to 2.5 minutes of angle with that Wolf Match Target ammunition and with the Sporter barrel. So really not bad coming right out of the box with a rifle that's really designed to be a low-cost plinking rifle. Now again, remember what our sticker price is on this rifle compared to some other stuff out there. This whole rifle comes in for less than the price of a lot of accessories for centerfire rifles. So the accuracy that we got out of it was fairly surprising. If I was going to take this rifle and hand it to my son to go out and let him plink steel targets, go hunt rabbits, that kind of stuff, this would be an excellent rifle for that. If you've got a kid that is mature enough that you can let them run a semi-automatic rifle versus a single-shot bolt gun, then this is a really, really nice rifle. It's very lightweight. It's really quick handling. And I'm going to tell you, in this condition right here, we had a blast with this thing. Enough fun that I am actually considering buying a second one just to leave set up like this, to not change anything else on the rifle, just set it up like this, just as a little truck gun type 22, something I can take out and shoot steel challenge with in the rimfire rifle categories, that kind of stuff. Really, really fun rifle in its current condition, so you don't have to spend a lot of money on these to have a ton of fun. Now, the scope base that is on here is the regular scope base that came with the rifle. It is actually a dovetail and a Weaver combination base. So it's got this small dovetail mount on top, and the thicker portion of the base accepts Weaver mounts. The scope that we have on here is actually a 22/airgun scope. It's from Tasco. It's one of their golden antler scopes, and I picked this up a couple of years back just to throw on top of another 22 rifle to do some accuracy testing, and it was floating around in the cabinet. These run about 40 bucks. I bought it at Walmart. I couldn't find it online anymore with the target turrets. You can find this scope with regular cap turrets, but I couldn't find any with target turrets. It's got 1/4 inch clicks on it, 1/4 inch at 100 yards. At least that's what it's marked as. We haven't done any tracking tests or anything on it. It is a $40 rifle scope. So you don't really expect it to have razor sharp tracking. You don't expect it to have all the other things that we would on a top end rifle scope. But this is the no budget solution because it was already sitting here on the shelf. If you don't have actually one floating around from previous projects, then you may have a friend out there, if you know a lot of shooters, that has one of these scopes just floating around that doesn't actually have a home. If you get any of the, like Dick's Sporting Goods has rifle packages. I've got a couple of Tasco, they're actually Remington branded, but they look like Tasco scopes that came off of those packages. They're just 3 to 9 power, duplex reticle, nothing special. Those work really well on these rifles. This scope is great because this scope is specifically intended for air guns or 22s to be used at short range. So we have an adjustable objective on it, and it goes from 7.5 to 100 yards. So actually, I'm sorry, 7.5 to infinity. The last marking is 100 yards on here. But it does actually focus down to 7.5 yards. Actually, it gets a little bit closer in if you dial the magnification down. But on 9 power, you can get it to focus at 7.5 yards. That is great for a little short range rifle like this. And of course, you can crank it up and set it at 50 yards, and you're going to be good to go for just about everything with the really low power variable that you got on here. So for 40 bucks, you can outfit this thing. And in reality, with the rifle set up exactly the way it is here, you can use it as a basic marksmanship trainer. You can take this rifle out and it will still teach you the fundamentals. It'll still challenge you to use the basics of breathing, sight alignment, trigger pull, being able to get in positions, use muscular relaxation and bone support. All that fun stuff you can do with this rifle. Now, it does not have studs on the bottom for a sling. So if you want to run a sling, you would need to put some studs in there, which you can pick those up at Walmart or any of your local sporting goods stores. It also does not have a method to mount a bipod on here. However, you can do that. The drawback of this stock is the comb is a little bit low. So to use with a scope, you really need to build this comb up a little bit. Now for me, to get a good cheek weld with it, you see with my eye relief perfect here, my cheekbone is up here. So I really need to build that comb up to get a good cheek weld right in here in my cheekbone. I'm really more of a half cheek, half chin weld with the severe drop that this stock has on it. Now, if you again are going the no buck solution, then you can get some foam or any other stuff that you find around home. You can go to your local Army surplus store and get a sleeping mat and cut up chunks of foam off of that, and you can duct tape it down to the stock. Then go to your drugstore, get a piece of moleskin, which is the fuzzy stuff that you put over blisters, and just slap a piece of moleskin across the top of it. That will give you a really cheap, really easy way to build that comb up to fit your specific cheek. It sounds really shoddy, it sounds like a really low quality way to do it, but believe it or not, that's the method that we use to build the combs up on the M40A1 sniper rifles that we were issued in the Marine Corps. That's a pretty standard way to do it, and it's fairly durable. We usually wouldn't have to rebuild those until it was time to send the rifle off to have any kind of armor's procedures done on it, and then we'd have to rebuild it when it comes back. But that will work out well for you. You don't even really need to put a bipod on it. You can throw this across a pack and get done what you need to get done. Now, that really isn't going to work for us though. We have a couple of other things that we're going to do on this rifle. And the accuracy is okay, but I think we can get the accuracy to be a lot better. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to swap the stock on here because it's going to take care of two things for us. Replacing the stock will help fix a little bit of our comb issue depending upon what stock we put on here. And then it will also open up our barrel channel up here so that it free floats the factory barrel, and it gives us some room to put a high quality premium match barrel onto here as well. We are also going to upgrade this scope I just threw it on here because I wanted to get a baseline and I wanted to show you guys what you can do for a very, very low budget. We'll be going with a considerably higher end optic, although not top end at this point, considerably higher end mid-level optic and a good scope base. The base that came with the rifle is actually really, really low quality. It's not really well machined. It works, but with this dovetail on here, there's nothing stopping the scope from moving forward and back other than the side-to-side pinch pressure of these dovetail rings. So if the scope took a hard hit front or back, it's going to slide on the rings, and of course you're going to lose your zero. We don't want to waste money going to a Weaver base because a Weaver isn't a standard. Weaver drifts all over the place. We want to go ahead and put a Picatinny scope base on here so that we can use Picatinny rings and know that our mounting system will be robust. We won't have to worry about it moving around if it takes a bump in the truck. So that's where we're going to go with the next installment, and hopefully you guys will stick with us there. Again, the next time we are going to replace the stock, and we're going to go with still a little bit of a budget stock. We're not immediately going to jump out of the budget realm, and we'll tell you how this works with the replacement stock. So please stick with us. If you got any questions or comments on anything we've done so far, please post them in the comments section below or send them to us on Facebook or Twitter. If you have suggestions on the route that you want the build to take, we'd love to hear them, so please post those down in the comments as well. If you like the video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, get out and shoot!